Hi everyone, Red is Great here. Welcome to my final presidential prediction of 2024. Election day is on Tuesday, and unless anything crazy happens, I will not be changing this. It's my final prediction. And if you're watching in the future and I'm wrong, feel free to laugh at me. So, let's go ahead and just start this with all the safe Republican states. Let's go ahead and fill out all these deep southern states, the Great Plains states, all safe. I mean, you could argue places like Kansas, Montana, and Missouri, Indiana could be likely, but at the end of the day, none of these states are going to be remotely close. Now we're going to do the safe Democratic states. I kind of want to discuss margins here for a minute after we do all these. So, there's a lot of hype online about New Jersey from the right, but New Jersey's not going to be competitive, and if I'm wrong, I'll be wrong, but New Jersey won't be close. It will be safe Kamala. New York, I think New York will turn right by a bit. I think she wins about 18 or 19. Still safe. So, yeah. Places like California, Oregon, Washington, Hawaii, are all safe. New Mexico and Colorado are safe. There's been a lot of... Trump was actually in Albuquerque, New Mexico for a rally, but New Mexico's not going to be really close. Kamala wins it by 8 or 9. Safe Democratic state. It's not competitive. So, yeah. Now we're down to the... I guess we're going to do the next category, which is they're not really competitive, but they're not safe either. Iowa and Ohio, I am going to put safe. There was actually a recent Seltzer poll that had Iowa... Kamala +3, and Seltzer has been the most accurate Iowa pollster. Predicted Obama would win easily in 2008, 2012, predicted the working class shifts in 2016. The only race that really got wrong was Iowa governor 2018. They had Democrats flipping it, and Republicans won it by around 3 or 4. They got Chuck Grassley's 2022 margin correct. They correctly predicted the governor race, correctly predicted the House races. So, I originally had Trump win in Iowa by 10, 11, or 12, but I don't think Kamala wins Iowa. I would be shocked if that even happens. I'd be very, very shocked. So I'm going to move Iowa likely. It does seem like that Trump may have an Iowa problem, a working class white problem. If Iowa shifts left, the election's over at the end of the day. So I'm going to move it to likely. I think Trump wins it by 8 or 9. Still a shift from 2020 for Trump, but if it trends more left or is even really close on election day, the election's over. So, Minnesota and Virginia are likely. There's been a lot of hype around these two states, again, in online conservative circles. Simply put, Virginia's not going to be competitive. Minnesota's not going to be competitive. Here's my logic for that. If these states were truly competitive, why isn't Kamala holding rallies in these places? Why isn't she spending money in these states? She's not. Only person spending money is Trump, which is a really dumb move by him. So, at the end of the day, I do think Kamala wins Virginia by 8 or 9, Minnesota by 6 or 7 at the end of the day. So, Wisconsin and all these other states we'll get to momentarily. Alaska is likely. I do think it'll trend left. Some polling has it fairly close, but I don't think it'll be that close. So, it just trend left, which is good news for the House race, which I'm going to do a video on. Texas is lean, and Florida is likely. Florida, the early vote numbers, which I don't like to dig into, are absolutely awful for just Democrats. They're collapsing everywhere. But I think Trump wins it by... My prediction was always Trump +6, but I do think Trump probably wins it by 7 or 8. If he's having a good night, maybe double digits, but I just don't see it at the end of the day. Texas, I think Texas will be around a 3 or 4 point victory for Trump, a trend left, which is good down ballot too for Democrats, but I don't think Trump really improves here. I mean, he could, but either that or it remains stagnant. So now we're down to the truly competitive states, but I actually forgot about New Hampshire. New Hampshire is likely. Maine second is likely. New Hampshire's not competitive. Kamala's pulling decently well here at the end of the day, so I think she wins it by 7 or 8. And all the Nebraska seats, with the exception of Nebraska second, that will be likely. And the first, I'll move to likely too. Nebraska second, the poll in there has been atrocious, basically atrocious for Trump. It's very left trend in suburban Omaha, and Democrats can do very well here. And then you have this important Senate race, which sounds crazy to be saying, but I want to make a. We'll talk about that in the Senate prediction, but Dan Osborne, the independent, is crushing it there, which I don't know if it's true or not, but I guess we'll see on Election Day. End of the day, this seat will be 8 or 9 victory point for Kamala Harris. Now, the 7 true competitive states. These are the states that the election will be decided on. These are very, very close states. Michigan, lean Kamala. I think higher black turnout in Detroit, trends in places like Grand Rapids, and high black turnout in places like Flint will help Kamala win the state. People have been saying, there's the Dearborn Muslims, but I don't think that will really shift. I mean, we saw Whitmer do atrocious with these voters in 2022 for other reasons. I mean, in 2002, George Bush won Muslim voters by, I think, 90-plus points or something ridiculous, but Gore still won the state by 5 points. I know that was 20-something years ago, but it kind of shows that unless the state is decided by like 10,000 votes, then maybe, but I think Kamala wins Michigan by 2 or 3 at the end of the day. Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, the 2 states I truly don't know, but I think it's undeniable. It's undeniable that the momentum is in Harris's favor at this point. It's just the early vote numbers, the turnout. I mean, I truly don't know who will win these 2 states. You could argue Trump, and I see the argument for that. You could argue Harris, but gun to my head, Harris wins these 2 states. And there you go. Harris is president. Election's over. Nevada. I think Nevada is going to be a very close state. I mean, Democrats just have an institutional edge here with the Reid machine and the culinary unions. And I do think Trump will improve with Latino voters, but places like Reno and Washoe County are probably going to bail out Harris in the end. And even then, if she wins Nevada, it doesn't matter. I mean, this state is only 6 electoral votes. I mean, it doesn't really matter end of the day. Arizona, I think Trump flips Arizona and Georgia. It's crazy. But I used to think Arizona was going to be, even when Biden was the race, I thought Biden would win Arizona. I truly believe that. The trends there were not good, but Trump has polled extremely well here, and I don't understand why. I don't know if it's just the border, I don't know if it's Hispanics, I don't know what it is, but end of the day, I think Trump wins Arizona by around 10,000 votes. But I would not be surprised if Harris wins Arizona too, just because of how bad things down there are for Republicans. Georgia, this has been Trump's best state for a long time, but I do think the state was always going to be close regardless, just because trends in the state are horrendous for Republicans, to put it bluntly. And North Carolina, there's been a lot of hype, especially with Mark Robinson's insane scandals that came out, and I mean, National Republicans kind of abandoned him, and they kind of abandoned him a long time ago, but I don't think Robinson's going to drag down unless he's losing by like 13 or 14 points, which polling is suggesting that it could happen, but I do think Robinson's being underestimated, which I do want to talk about in the governor video, which I'm making soon. I think Trump wins it by under a point. The Harris campaign has thrown everything in North Carolina. If she's having a good night, she could sweep the state, but I think that she loses. But down ballot Democrats like Josh Stein, what's the dude, Jeff Jackson running for a Attorney General, he probably wins. Democrats are going to flip probably really well down ballot. So this is my prediction. This was not going to be my original prediction, but I originally had Trump winning, but it's undeniable that there is momentum in Harris's favor. But I will say this too, is anything is going to happen on election night. Expect the unexpected. And if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. Simply put, this is a prediction for a reason. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. See you guys later.